So here's problem number 3, or at least a piece of it. Problem number 3 is a word problem, and I don't really want to write all that on the board, but I know that everybody should have a copy of this test with you, so you can just follow along with that. I'll read it out though. So the problem says, a company spends X $100 on an advertising campaign. The amount of money in sales, S of X, in thousands of dollars, for the 4-month period after the advertising campaign can be modeled by S of X equals this function, 5 plus 7 ln of X plus 1. And then we have 2 questions about the function. So the first question says, if the company spent $250 on the advertising campaign, what will be the expected total sales? Round to the nearest dollar. So part A, right? So the company spends $250. Okay, that's spent. So that's the input of the function, right? So this is an input. But there is one thing to take note of here is that the way this function is defined is that the inputs are in hundreds. So this is $250. That's in ones. So when we input this into the function, we can't just put in 250. We have to input 2.5. So that's an easy mistake to make, which will give you a much different answer. Okay, so watch out for things like that if the unit is defined in terms of tens or hundreds or something like that. And also notice that the output of this function is in thousands, so that's also going to play a role. So, but as far as what we have to do now is we just need to plug this number into the function and evaluate it. So that's not so bad. And this is ln of 3.5. And then we're going to multiply that by 7 and add 5 to it. And I've already done this, and I got 13.7, this is approximate, 769,000. Okay, so what that actually is, in dollars, to the nearest dollar, is that's $13,769. All right. So that's part A. Now for part B, I'm going to have to erase this. We'll go ahead and do part B, where we are looking for a different value. Okay, so in part B, the question says, if the sales total $19,100, how much was spent on advertising? So that $19,100 is a sales number. And that is the output of the function. All right, so how do I know that? Well, because the way the function is defined, it says that the amount of money in sales is S, and X is the money spent on the advertising campaign. So we're given an output here. We're also given an output in ones, though, so we have to convert this to thousands. Okay. So in thousands, this is going to be 19.1, and that's going to be our S of X. Okay, so that's going to be on the left-hand side, and now we're going to solve for X, because X is the amount that we've spent on the advertising campaign. All right, so subtract 5 from both sides. That's going to give you 14.1. And then we'll have 7 ln x plus 1. This is now a logarithmic equation. So to solve a log equation for the variable x, we isolate the log, convert it to an exponential equation, and then find x. Okay. So I'll divide by 7. And you could go ahead and put this in the calculator. I'm going to leave it just as is for the moment. So I will convert this to an exponential expression, base e. So this is e to the 14.1 over 7, that's a 7, sorry, equals x plus 1. And so finally we can solve for x, and x is going to be this expression minus 1, so that's e to the 14.1 over 7, and that whole thing is, has 1 taken away from it. And you do need to get a decimal approximation for this, which I've already done, and I got 6.495. And remember, that's in hundreds, so to the nearest dollar, that's $650. Okay, and so that's part B.